Salt has been cast as a villain, yet your body whispers for it with every heartbeat. If you live with metabolic syndrome, tired after meals, craving snacks, blood pressure creeping, you may feel trapped between fear and hunger. What if the truth is more nuanced? Tonight, we explore the salt fix, a story of biology, balance, and hope, where smarter sodium choices may calm cravings and steady energy, always in partnership with your physician. James DiNicolantonio looked at decades of data and saw a puzzle. Low salt advice did not always bring better health. Some patients felt weaker, hungrier, and more anxious. His work challenges a one-size-fits-all rule, proposing that individual salt needs vary, especially under metabolic stress. This is not a license to oversalt. It is an invitation to listen, measure, and personalize with medical guidance. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster: abdominal fat, elevated blood pressure, high triglycerides, low HDL, and rising blood sugar. It is like an engine running hot, wasting fuel, and leaking oil. Every snack rush floods the system. Energy crashes follow. Salt enters this story because hormones that manage sodium also shape stress, thirst, and insulin sensitivity. Balance may help quiet the storm inside. Sodium conducts an orchestra: nerve impulses, muscle contractions, and fluid balance. Too little, and the body may boost adrenaline and renin to keep pressure up, a safety mode that can feel like anxiety and fatigue. Too much, and sensitive individuals may experience swelling or increased blood pressure. The art lies in matching intake to need, and that deserves thoughtful monitoring and a physician's counsel. Have you noticed craving salty foods after cutting carbs or during hot days? That whisper may reflect fluid shifts and increased sodium loss. In the salt fix, the idea emerges: cravings are messages, not moral failures. We will test this gently with home data: pulse, blood pressure, and how you feel after meals, so you can translate desire into information, not fear. Cliffhanger: one change may steady your afternoons. For years, many with metabolic syndrome chased low-salt rules and felt worse, lightheaded on standing, headaches, and insatiable hunger after bland meals. The body, short on sodium, may release stress signals. Awareness turns fear into a plan. Observe, adjust, and confirm with your clinician. This journey is not rebellion, it is refinement. We move from rigid dogma to respectful experimentation. When sodium drops too low for your body, renin and aldosterone may rise, and adrenaline can surge to maintain blood pressure. This survival mode can feel like racing thoughts and fatigue. Conversely, for salt-sensitive people, higher salt may push pressure upward. The Salt Fix asks us to find the middle path, guided by symptoms and numbers, never ignoring doctor advice, especially if you have hypertension or kidney disease. Insulin helps the kidneys retain sodium. When you reduce refined carbs, insulin may fall, and you could excrete more sodium, explaining early fatigue on low-carb plans. Strategic sodium with mineral-rich foods may ease that transition for some. Still, one size does not fit all. Track your blood pressure and well-being, and consult your physician before changing sodium or carbohydrate patterns. Across history, many traditional diets offered more natural sodium than modern guidelines suggest, especially in hot climates. With the rise of refined sugar and ultra-processed food, blame shifted towards salt. The Salt Fix urges us to separate sodium from the company it often keeps: industrial fats, sugar, and additives, so we judge the mineral fairly, not as a scapegoat for a processed pattern. Your body carries a saline ocean within. When sodium dips, thirst and salt appetite often rise. When it climbs, thirst can wane. This thermostat is remarkably precise for many people. Respecting it, while tracking blood pressure and symptoms, may reduce overcorrections driven by fear. Think of thirst and salt craving as text messages from your inner sea, asking for balance, not extremes. Not all bodies read salt the same. Some are salt sensitive. Modest sodium raises their blood pressure. Others are salt resistant. Numbers barely budge. Metabolic syndrome can alter this response. The Salt Fix promotes testing your personal curve. Simple home BP logs before and after meals, then discussing results with your physician. Personal biology replaces general slogans. Potassium-rich foods, leafy greens, beans, yogurt, avocado, help muscles and vessels relax and support sodium balance. Many benefits of low-salt plans may come from higher potassium and less ultra-processed food, not sodium restriction alone. This is not about flooding sodium. It is about nourishing the duet of sodium and potassium. If you have kidney issues, ask your doctor before changing potassium intake. Salt in home-cooked broth is not the same as salt in ultra-processed snacks. The latter often arrives with refined carbs, seed oils, and additives that push appetite and glucose swings. The salt fix asks us to judge sources, not just milligrams. Choosing whole foods lets you salt to taste while avoiding the sugar-salt spiral that fuels metabolic syndrome. When salt rides shotgun with sugar and refined starch, we eat faster and more. This engineered bliss point can disorient taste, making real food seem dull. Recalibration comes from 2 weeks of whole foods, meats or legumes, vegetables, fermented items, and natural fats. Seasoned to taste. As taste buds reset, cravings soften and energy steadies. Discuss diet changes with your clinician. Hot days, saunas, and exercise increase sodium losses through sweat. If you feel heavy-legged or dizzy after workouts, it may be fluid and sodium mismatch, not just willpower. Consider timing fluids and balanced electrolytes around activity, and track blood pressure trends. If you take blood pressure medicines or have heart or kidney conditions, consult your physician before adjusting sodium or fluids. Cortisol rises in the morning to wake us, shifting fluid and sodium handling. Some feel better with a mineral-rich breakfast, eggs, greens, yogurt, a pinch of salt, especially when cutting sugars. The goal is steady energy, not spikes. Test how your morning meal affects pulse, focus, and mood over a week, and share your log with your healthcare team for tailored adjustments. Instead of a single reading, think in patterns, morning versus evening, pre- and post-meal, and after walks. If salting to taste with real food keeps your blood pressure stable or lower and energy calmer, you have a clue. If it rises, you have a different clue. The Salt Fix advocates respectful trials, never ignoring medical advice, particularly if you already have elevated pressure or medications. Water is life, but overhydration can dilute sodium, leading to headaches, fatigue, and even risk in extremes. Think of water as a solvent carrying minerals. Pair fluids with mineral-rich foods, and sip to thirst during normal days. During heavy sweating, consider balanced electrolytes. If you have medical conditions that affect fluids, ask your physician before changing hydration practices. Salt is blamed for puffiness, yet bloat often comes from refined carbs that pull water as they store glycogen. Reduce sugar and starch, and water shifts can drop quickly. When people move toward whole foods and salt to taste, many notice rings fit better and afternoons feel lighter. Track waste, not just weight, and observe how different meals affect your comfort. Healthy kidneys manage wide swings in sodium intake, excreting the excess and conserving when scarce. In metabolic syndrome, insulin and inflammation can alter this balance. It is wise to check kidney function and blood pressure before major dietary changes. If you have kidney, heart, or blood pressure concerns, please consult your physician before adjusting sodium. Fructose metabolism can raise uric acid and promote insulin resistance, nudging the kidneys to retain sodium. The villain may be the sugar-salt duo, not salt alone. Reducing sugary drinks and refined starches often lowers blood pressure within days by decreasing insulin-driven sodium retention. This shift pairs well with salting whole foods to taste and monitoring your numbers. The DASH diet lowers blood pressure, but its power may reflect high potassium and whole foods rather than sodium restriction alone. The Salt Fix encourages adopting the spirit: vegetables, fruits, legumes, dairy, or alternatives, lean proteins, while seasoning to taste and watching your personal BP response. You gain flexibility without abandoning what works. Sea, rock, and table salts are mostly sodium chloride. Trace minerals differ, yet amounts are small. Flavor and flow vary, affecting how much you shake. Choose a salt you enjoy, measure occasionally to learn your hand, and focus on the entire meal pattern. If you need iodine, Ensure your diet provides it. Iodized salt or food sources guided by your clinician. Chloride in salt helps form stomach acid, supporting protein digestion and mineral absorption. Too little acid can feel like heaviness after meals. This does not mean flooding salt. It suggests that adequate sodium and mindful eating may restore comfort. Chew slowly, relax, and observe your body's response, adjusting with your healthcare provider if symptoms persist. Some experience nighttime awakenings on very low sodium, light sleep, racing thoughts, early trips to the bathroom. For certain individuals, a slightly more mineral-rich dinner may improve rest. Others do best earlier in the day. Your log will reveal your rhythm. Always align any changes with your clinician, especially if you manage blood pressure, heart, or kidney conditions. Caffeine can increase urine output and may transiently affect sodium excretion. If coffee leaves you jittery and thirsty, pair it with water and a mineral-rich snack. Observe your blood pressure and heart rate response across the morning. The goal is composure, not deprivation. Adjust with your clinician's input if you take medications or have heart rhythm concerns. Early in fasting or low-carb eating, insulin drops in kidneys shed sodium. Some feel low energy, headaches, or leg cramps. A balanced approach, broth, mineral-rich vegetables, and salting to taste may ease adaptation. Yet, if you have medical conditions or take medications, especially for blood pressure or diabetes, consult your physician before fasting or changing sodium. Adequate sodium helps maintain blood volume and nerve conduction during exercise. If you cramp easily or fade late in workouts, review timing of fluids, electrolytes, and meals. For heat or endurance events, plan with a clinician or sports dietitian. Overcorrecting is risky. The target is clarity and stamina, not chasing extremes. Track a few signals: morning blood pressure and pulse, energy after lunch, evening ankles for swelling, and overnight awakenings. Note meals and salt use. Over 1 to 2 weeks, patterns emerge. If salt to taste with real foods steadies energy and does not raise your BP, you have evidence. If it worsens numbers, adjust with your physician. When you step away from ultra-processed foods, taste buds wake up. A sprinkle of salt on tomatoes becomes symphonic. This is the heart of the salt fix. Not reckless salt, but rightful salt, used to help real food satisfy so you can eat slowly, feel full, and reduce sugar swings. Satiety is your ally against metabolic syndrome. A 3 p.m. salt craving might mean you need minerals, protein, or rest, not a bag of chips. Try a small broth, olives, or yogurt with a pinch of salt, then reassess hunger in 20 minutes. If calm returns and energy holds, your body has spoken. If not, consider hydration or a protein-rich snack. Keep your doctor in the loop when experimenting. Very low sodium can raise adrenaline for some, creating a hum of unease. Adequate minerals and balanced meals often soothe that hum. Think of sodium as a violin string. Too tight, it snaps. Too loose, it buzzes. Tuned, it sings. The aim is composure, measured by your mood, pulse, and pressure, guided by your clinician's care. Possible signals of insufficient sodium include dizziness on standing, headaches, low appetite satisfaction, muscle cramps, and a heavy fatigue after exercise. These signs overlap with other conditions, so do not self-diagnose. Use them as prompts to measure, reflect, and consult your physician for interpretation and safe adjustments. Possible signs of excessive sodium include swelling in ankles or fingers, sustained thirst without relief, and a persistent rise in blood pressure for salt-sensitive individuals. Treat these as data points, not judgments. Reduce processed foods, favor potassium-rich plants, and review results with your physician to find your personal balance. Build meals around protein, fiber, and natural fats, then salt to taste. Example, grilled fish, lemony greens, roasted vegetables with olives or yogurt. This combination slows digestion, steadies glucose, and makes a modest pinch of salt feel satisfying. The goal is a calm plate that helps you stop at satisfied, not stuffed. Restaurants can oversalt and oversugar. Request sauces on the side, choose grilled or steamed options, and add salt at the table to taste. Favor vegetables and protein, and skip the refined bread if it triggers cravings. Notice how you feel 60 minutes after, light or foggy. Use that feeling to guide your next visit. On labels, sodium is per serving. Watch hidden portions. Compare sodium with added sugars and refined starches. A high sodium, high sugar item invites overeating. Whole foods with modest sodium often satisfy faster. Pick products with short ingredient lists and season them yourself, tracking your response at home. Some begin the day with water, a squeeze of citrus, and a small pinch of salt, especially after hot nights or morning walks. Others prefer mineral water or broth later. Monitor how this affects thirst, focus, and blood pressure. If you have heart, kidney, or blood pressure conditions, ask your physician before trying electrolyte drinks. Broths and soups deliver warmth, hydration, and minerals in one bowl. Paired with protein and vegetables, they can stabilize appetite on busy days. Salt them to taste, then pause between sips to sense satisfaction. This mindful cadence is a quiet antidote to the rush that fuels metabolic syndrome. Sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, and olives are naturally salty and can add satisfaction to balanced plates. Their acids and textures awaken appetite in a good way, helping you enjoy smaller portions comfortably. If you must limit sodium, portion carefully and consult your clinician. Flavor is a tool, not an enemy. Diuretics and some blood pressure medicines alter sodium and potassium handling. If you feel dizzy, crampy, or unusually thirsty on new medications, contact your clinician. The salt fix approach is always collaborative. Adjust diet only with medical guidance when medications are involved. For 1 week, choose whole foods and season to taste. Track BP twice daily, pulse, midday energy, and evening swelling. Note cravings and sleep. Reduce sugar and refined starches. At week's end, compare, did energy steady? Did BP change? Bring your log to your physician to discuss safe next steps. Maria, 48, had metabolic syndrome and 3 p.m. crashes. She swapped pastries for a yogurt bowl with nuts, berries, and a pinch of salt, plus a short walk. Within a week, her energy held until dinner, and BP remained steady. This is one story, not a prescription. Her changes were shared with her physician, who adjusted her plan over time. Derek, 55, had hypertension on medication. When he tried salting more, his BP rose. With his physician, he scaled back sodium, emphasized potassium-rich foods, and reduced refined carbs. His BP improved. The lesson: your body's response is the guide, and medical partnership is essential. Beyond the scale, track waist, resting pulse, BP variability, sleep quality, and how soon you feel hungry after meals. If right-sized sodium and less sugar extend satiety and keep vitals steady, you are moving toward metabolic calm. Bring steady data, not single points, to your medical visits. A short walk after meals, gentle strength work, and mineral-savvy meals create a loop of steadiness. Muscles act like glucose sponges. When insulin quiets, sodium balance often stabilizes. Pair motion with meals and listen to thirst and salt appetite, adjusting with your clinician if on medications. During heat waves, monitor weight, thirst, urine color, and blood pressure. Replace fluids and electrolytes thoughtfully. Too much plain water can dilute sodium. Too much sodium without water can dehydrate. If you have heart, kidney, or BP conditions, make a heat plan with your physician in advance. Myth: all salt is bad. Reality: needs vary, context matters. Myth: water retention is always salt. Reality: carbs and hormones often drive it. Myth: processed or home salt are equal. Reality: company counts. The salt fix reframes sodium as part of a bigger picture. Glucose, insulin, potassium, and your unique biology. Dear future me, I will eat foods that truly satisfy, season them to taste, and honor my signals. I will measure, not guess. I will ask for help when numbers worry me. I will choose consistency over extremes. I will let calm meals make calm days. Signed, Today Me. Tonight, try a whole food dinner, protein, vegetables, natural fats, and salt to taste. Sit, breathe, and chew. After 60 minutes, check your mood, focus, and BP. If steadier, you have a clue. If not, you still learned. Repeat twice this week and compare. Share with your physician if patterns persist. Keep a small salt pinch bowl, a measuring spoon for calibration, and a simple BP cuff. Use a weekly template to log meals, salt, and signals. Small tools create big clarity, turning guesswork into gentle science at home. Food is love and memory. When you shift habits explained gently, you are choosing whole foods, seasoning to taste, and listening to your body. Invite family to a flavorful, balanced meal. No lectures, just delicious proof that calm can be shared. If your blood pressure rises persistently, swelling appears, or dizziness worsens, pause experiments and seek medical care. The salt fix is a lens, not a diagnosis. Your physician can interpret patterns, adjust medications, and tailor a plan to your biology. 1. Choose whole foods and season to taste. 2. Reduce refined sugars and starches that drive insulin and water swings. 3. Track BP, pulse, energy, and sleep for 2 weeks. Review with your physician. Simple steps, powerful clarity. Imagine 30 days from now, steadier mornings, quieter afternoons, and a clearer BP pattern. What will your log reveal? We will return with a deeper dive into potassium-rich meals and stress rhythms. Your next chapter begins with tonight's plate. Stock spinach, beet greens, beans, lentils, yogurt, kefir, avocados, tomatoes, squash, and citrus. These support the sodium-potassium duet that eases blood pressure for many. If you have kidney disease or take certain medications, ask your physician before increasing potassium. Fine salt measures densely, flaky salt is airy. The same teaspoon can differ by texture. Calibrate your pinch, measure once, memorize the feel, then cook intuitively. This tactile learning prevents oversalting and builds trust with your senses. If you are shamed for salting your food, release it. You are not reckless. You are attentive. The salt fix invites compassion. Choose better foods. Listen to your body and work with your physician. Health grows in the soil of respect. We began with anxiety and arrived at awareness. Salt is not a tyrant, nor a cure-all. It is one instrument in your orchestra, tuned by potassium, real food, movement, sleep, and care. Your body is wise. With your physician's guidance, let it lead you toward steadier days. If this journey clarified your relationship with salt and metabolic health, please subscribe, like, and share. Begin your 7-day log tonight and bring it to your physician for safe personalization before changing sodium. Your next meal can be a turning point, seasoned with wisdom and care.